Aloha everybody. I have a very inspirational dish this afternoon. I'm going to show you guys how to make this poke and show you how quick it is and simple it is to do. I'll start off by cutting the poke. How big you make this poke is up to you. For me, I like to do about a 1/2 inch to almost a 1 inch size dice. I cut across the grain inside the tuna and then turn it sideways and then go back through. This is going to be your dice. Now, the size of the dice is all a matter of how you want it to taste. A lot of people that come into my restaurant and say they don't like raw fish, they'll get the poke and love it. You can see now it's just a bunch of diced up tuna. That's all it is, and it's still very raw. When I dice an onion, I break it apart, and I get it down into usually no more than 3 segments per. And then I'll start by just dicing this up. And the size of dice you want for this is up to you. You know, when you go to Hawaii, a lot of times they just julienne it, meaning that they leave it like this and throw it inside the mix. For me, I like it a little more elegant. So we'll dice that. So we fly in the onions from Maui. The difference between these type of onion and anything else is that it's super, super sweet. And the next, English cucumber. It's just pretty much just a basic cucumber. It's kind of low on the seeds, so you don't get a whole lot of seeds in them with the tuna. And we'll dice that up. And then we'll start getting into some of the cooler ingredients that go into poke. This is a green type of ogo, and it's a little bit thicker. And it tastes a lot more oceany, a lot more like the ocean will, and a lot more salt as well. And the other type is a red type, which is a very leafy type, and it's not going to have as much ocean flavor, but it's going to be a little bit easier to eat. The amount that you put in these is going to decide your finishing flavor on your poke. So that's it, kind of rough chop those. The next group of ingredients is going to be a special type of nut from Hawaii called a kukui nut. By itself, it's not a very flavorful item, but when you mix it in with the soy sauce and the Ryu oil, and then with the tuna, it makes for a nice little texture to the dish as well. So we've added that. We've got the tuna, we've got the onions, the cucumber, and the ogo, and now the kukui nut, all inside the dish so far. The next ingredient is going to be furakake. All it is a couple different types of nori mixed in with sesame seeds, and the sesame seeds are toasted off, and then they're all added together. So put that in there. That's going to add a little bit of sweetness and also a little bit of saltiness to the dish. Sashimi, which is also called togarashi. And this is basically a Japanese 7-spice. What they do is they take a couple different types of chilies, they mix it in with white and black sesame seeds, some toasted nori, and some tangerine rind. And this is super spicy, doing the fact that it's got all the chilies in there. So however spicy you want the dish is going to be, however much you want to put in this. And I like mine pretty spicy. We make our own Ryu oil at Roy's, and it's pretty basic to make. For every 1 liter of sesame oil, you're going to take 1 cup of toasted kimchi flakes. If you can see it in this glass jar, is a kind of a viscous sesame oil, but it's super spicy, and it kind of gets a nice red color. So I do equal parts of soy sauce and Ryu oil. So we're going to dump the Ryu oil in there, and then dump the soy sauce in there. And this is a low sodium soy sauce called Yamasa, which is just a nice Japanese brand of soy sauce. And all you're really looking to do is kind of saturate your tuna. You don't want to oversaturate it where it's going to be too much liquid in there. You just kind of want to coat the tuna and make sure that every piece of tuna gets the same amount of coating on there. I use a special salt from the Philippines. It's only grown 4 months out of the year, so it's a super special salt. It keeps that ocean flavor, but it's not salty at all. This is a dish that you can toss together and eat right away. It's not something you want to let marinate for very long. And these are some lomi lomi tomatoes. Lomi means massaged in Hawaii. So all we do is we take Roma tomatoes and cut them up with Maui onions and chives. And then we add a little bit of sashimi, which was this Japanese spice. And we just kind of work them with our hands together until it gets all marinated together. So you're going to put that inside the martini glass on the bottom to kind of create a base. You definitely don't want more tomatoes than you have tuna, that's for sure. I'm a big fan of tuna, so I would never let that happen. And stir this up a little bit more, and you're going to add the tuna right on top of the lomi lomi tomatoes. And what you have is this really nicely marinated tuna. You saw that it was so red before, and now it's kind of dark from the soy sauce. And it's got all those great ingredients in there. So you stack that up, and if you're a big fan of tuna, you can make it as tall as you want to make it. And this is your Hawaiian-style ahi poke.